Alright, gather around folks, and let me tell you about the scariest night of my life. It was back in the mid-1970s when I was out hunting deer in the Louisiana Piney Woods. Now I've been in those woods plenty of times before, but nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to encounter. Picture this. The air was thick with the scent of pine, and the only sound was the crunch of my boots on the forest floor. I was tracking a big buck when I heard this low, guttural growl. At first I figured it was just some animal, but then I saw it. A creature like something out of a nightmare. Covered in fur as dark as midnight, with eyes that seemed to glow in the darkness, this thing was hunting for deer just like me. But it wasn't any animal I'd ever seen before. It was Bigfoot, no doubt about it. I froze in my tracks, my heart pounding in my chest. I wanted to run, but I was rooted to the spot, unable to tear my eyes away from this monster. It was like time stood still as we stared each other down, and I knew in that moment that I was in real trouble. But then, something happened that still gives me chills just thinking about it. I heard this blood-curdling scream like nothing I'd ever heard before. It echoed through the woods, sending shivers down my spine. And in that split second of distraction, I took my chance and bolted. I ran faster than I ever had in my life, crashing through the underbrush with Bigfoot hot on my heels. I didn't dare look back, didn't want to see those glowing eyes again. All I could think about was getting the hell out of there and back to safety. Finally, I burst out of the woods and into the clearing, gasping for breath and shaking like a leaf. I collapsed on the ground, my whole body trembling with adrenaline, and as I lay there staring up at the stars, I knew that I'd never forget the terror of that night in the Louisiana Piney Woods. This incident, reported in the Woodward News in Oklahoma sometime in the 1980s, initially seemed unbelievable. However, later experiences prompted a re-evaluation of its credibility. One summer evening around dusk, on a small farm west of Vichy, a boy went out to check on his pigs. Some distance from the farmhouse, he encountered a large, hairy animal on all fours. Frightened, he ran back to the farmhouse to get his father, who was there with some other men. The group returned to the area in their pickups, armed and ready. By then, the sun had set further, and it was getting dark. The animal, however, was clearly visible in the headlights of the vehicles. Surprisingly, the noise and light did not scare the animal. It stood up on its hind feet and stared at the men, emitting a loud breathing or growling noise. A shot fired into the air did not seem to spook the creature, which stood for a few moments more before turning and walking away on its hind legs, ambling off into the darkness. This event was also reported on Woodward Radio, and initially there was not much follow-up. A few weeks later, the father expressed regret over reporting the incident as he was inundated with questions from curious individuals from all over. At the time, I was driving a truck in the oil field and knew of many spooky places across Oklahoma State, so I did not automatically dismiss the report. Years later, while hauling salt water from wells in that general area, I recounted the story to a pumper. Rather than dismissing it, he acknowledged that local people had known about this creature for a long time but kept quiet to avoid being labeled as crazy. He mentioned that he too had heard about it and always ensured he checked his wells in that area before dark. This tale has often intrigued me, and finding this club has reignited my interest in researching it further. While I can't say I believe in Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, or similar creatures, I don't entirely dismiss the possibility. After all, at one time, even the giraffe was considered mythical. Reported to the Oklahoma Monkey Chasers discussion list by Okidan_46 on Sunday, May 6, 2001. Mike Woolley recounts a harrowing encounter with a Bigfoot while deer hunting in Louisiana in December 1981. This sighting serves as the foundation for an eerie and thrilling encounter, combining elements of suspense, survival, and the unknown. The location was dense woods in Louisiana. The time was December, early 1980s. The weather was a clear, cold day with temperatures around 30 degrees, the calm before the storm. I set out for a deer hunt, relishing the perfect hunting weather. I parked my truck halfway down a logging road to avoid spooking deer and hiked to my deer stand. The unexpected visitor. Shortly after settling in, a young doe, terrified and sweating, seeks refuge right by my stand. I initially think a big buck is nearby, but quickly realize something more sinister is afoot. The first sighting. Out of the corner of my eye, I spot a tall, hairy figure darting to a tree. I suspect someone in a costume, but soon realize the creature is far from human. Tense standoff. I attempt to scare the creature away, but it remains, staring at me menacingly. The creature roars like a lion, signaling another presence in the woods. The chase hearing movement from another creature, I decide to make a run for my truck. As I run, I glance back to see the Bigfoot barreling through the brush, hot on my trail. Narrow escape. Nearing my truck, I fire a warning shot, startling the creature. I scramble into my truck, glancing back to see a second creature approaching. A haunting realization. Safe in my truck, I reflect on the encounter, understanding the creatures are more than myths. I vowed to share my story, warning others about the dangers lurking in the woods. Moral of my story: survival. The struggle to escape from a powerful unknown predator. Mystery and the supernatural, being open to the existence of Bigfoot and the unexplained phenomena in the wild. Having courage, facing and escaping from an unimaginable threat. Cultivating respect and caution for the mysteries beyond. Encounters with the unknown can be life-changing, teaching us respect and caution for the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding. As our story concludes, we hope you found these true encounters as captivating as we did. The Piney Woods hold secrets that intrigue us all. If you enjoyed this dramatization, please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more extraordinary stories. Thank you for watching, and keep questioning the unknown.